Hello, BookTube. This is sort of a response video to one that Mark had made. A really good video called "Kids Can't Read Slash Won't Read," and it's his response to a Guardian article, and it made me think of things because basically the Guardian article is based on a let me get everything correct here so nobody can say that I can't. It's a report by the National Literary Trust. They have a link, but I click on it, and all it is research, and it's a National Literary Trust, but it's very, very fine and key findings, and they give a little bit of stuff like 4 in 5 children aged 5 to 8 said that they have a book. Said that they have a book of their own at home, meaning almost 1 in 5 children in this age group do not have a book of their own at home. More girls than boys said that they have a book of their own. And then reading enjoyment. 3 in 4 children aged 5 to 8 said that they enjoy reading, while 1 in 4 don't enjoy reading. More than twice as many boys as girls don't enjoy reading at all. Book ownership and reading enjoyment. More than 3.3 in 4 children aged 5 to 8 who have a book of their own at home said that they enjoy reading, decreasing to 2 in 3 of those who don't have a book of their own. And then reading frequency, only 1 in 2 children aged 5 to 8 said that they read daily, while 1 in 13 say that they never read at all. More girls than boys said they read daily. The report also found that around 7 in 10 children aged 8 said that they read to learn new words or to learn new things. In addition, 2 in 3 of children aged 8 said that reading makes them feel better. 64.1% said that reading helps them to relax, and 64% that it helps them feel happy. Now, that's sort of it. There is a file for the full report here. But I think that gives, it'd be interesting to look at all those details, but it looks like they're quite technical. But anyway, so the Guardian takes that information and basically cherry picks things from this research. And one of the things are that they don't own books, and the quote that parents cannot afford books because of the rising cost of living and all sorts of things. No doubt about that. No doubt about that. But the thrust of this is the literacy of reading. You see, the Guardian article, I think, as newspapers do, have other reasons to, there's different layers. You can't just look at the surface of an article, I think, a lot of times, because it's more not what's said, it's what's left out. I think there's other agendas happening here, and further back as well, when you peel back the layers and go back to the research as well. Now, the essential thing is here, I think, is not having a physical book, is the fact that there is a crisis here that they're talking about, a future crisis of children not having the literacy level in reading. Owning a book, like a physical book, does not mean that they will have that. It's the reading part. Now, today, unlike when I was young, there is access to tens of thousands of free books out there. Now, they're talking about children's 5 to 8. So let's look at the parents age-wise. I'm going to give a broad spectrum here of 25 to 45. So that's a 20-year period. Now, I can almost guarantee that in the UK, hardly any of those people don't have something like this, and probably multiple of these. And partners, let's say a partner or a single parent. Okay, let's just do that with 4 children, so it's 5, and potentially partners, so that's 6 people. Now, and you would wonder, like, there's very, very cheap tablets. So this is something that the cost of living has happened over a couple of years here. So you can get really cheap tablets. Like, maybe now, yeah, somebody may not be able to afford this, but I can, like, again, I don't have statistics for this, but from knowledge, almost everybody that age, their family or even their kids will have a tablet of some sort, even if it's a very, very low grade tablet. There will be a tablet available somewhere there, either through school that they use, if they're in a different type of school. There will be that. So therefore, they've got access to these free books. And yes, the price of things are going up. I pay £7 a month. I'm in a contract for 2 years. £7 a month. I get this phone free for that time. Well, I'm paying the £7. I've got unlimited talking time on the phone now. I got unlimited text, and I've got 500 megabyte data. Not much data. The reason why I don't have any more is because I don't go out and I use the Wi-Fi here. So occasionally I will need the data, but let's assume all I have is the 500 megabyte data. I can download in 1 month, probably, or a couple months. Oh, definitely in 1 month, I can download more books than I and probably 10 other people could physically read. That they could actually read, unless you're Steve Donahue. But, I could download all this, and for all ages as well. So it begs the question, why is The Guardian saying it's cost of living mostly, that they cherry pick these things, and they don't talk about libraries? First of all, they don't talk about free downloads that people that people can do. So it makes me think there's an agenda here, not a hard agenda, but there is there's the leadership thing that's happening for the Conservative Party here in the UK. It's opportune to do this. Newspapers are notorious to this. Sometimes it's right in your face, or sometimes it's subtle. And then the other thing is, it goes on, and who sort of helped sponsored this survey, research. It's McDonald's. That then they talk about that they give all these millions of books. Perfectly great. But again, you got to wonder, okay, why is McDonald's doing this in here? Well, it's very good advertising for them as well. And not that they probably really need anything. But people might go, oh, well, I'll go and eat at McDonald's because they support literacy. Now, I kind of wonder, will they, if you go into a McDonald's with, say, 4 or 5 children to order McBurgers or whatever they're called. I don't eat at McDonald's, but will they turn around and look at the children and say, no, here's some books, save your money, go home, and here's some books, don't buy this? Will they? I'm not going to answer that question. You can answer that question. So I question that as well. And the other thing is, there seems to be things that there are forbidden subjects. There are forbidden subjects to talk about in the 21st century, or practically forbidden. You can write an article in the newspaper attacking the government. This is the reason why something this is, and attacking the government, and you'll get people for you, but you won't get a huge outcry, generally speaking, depending on what it is. But just attacking the government, you won't get an outcry. But if you say, if you do this and do it in this way, saying that, well, everybody has access, or the majority, like 99.9999%, we're talking about, literacy and reading. There's ways of doing it on zero income, almost, like a very low income and everything like that. And it's through these because, majority of people have these. And therefore, there's another reason for this. It's not the rising income. It's a lack of interest from the parents, from the schools, society, all these things, and especially if you put any blame on parents, you will get a massive outcry. I know a lot of teachers, and I've talked to a lot of teachers over the years. You can no longer say something. You cannot disparage. Somebody's children. They'll freak out. You cannot say anything bad. So you cannot constructively say anything bad against them as well. Even if it's fully true, you cannot say anything like that. So that's a subject that the newspapers would stray away from. But newspapers are political, and almost everything that goes into a newspaper, there's different reasons why they're in there. So that's the one thing I think we have to keep in mind when you see these things and what's happening around. And again, like I said, it's in no way is deterring from the fact that the rise of the cost of living has gone up. I notice it. Like the amount of money that I have to to buy the same amount of food that I did a year ago, or a year ago, is like 30, sometimes 40% more. It has gone up, and I'm a single person, and that matters. So I think there's a lot of things that go into this, but it's not. I think it's wrong of this article to blame it solely on physical books. And there's bigger issues here. There are the issues of lack of interest for people to reading, and that requires a whole proper study and talking about the elephant in the room of the parents. That are. I'm not saying that they are fully responsible for it in any way. They're part of the responsibility for this, and it's everybody else's responsibility too, because there's a lack of interest to push parents to do this, push schools to push reading and things like this. There is lots of everybody is culpable to a greater or lesser degree in things like this, because I say that because this is society. This will affect society, and it probably won't affect me so much, because by the time these children grow up and get jobs, there's a good chance that I might not be around anymore, or I'll be but it could very well. I could be really aged in my 80s when this happens, and it could directly affect me because of this. So there is a selfishness for me to want to do this. Just look at it that way. Be selfish about yourself, therefore helping society. Anyway, that's a different topic, but it was very interesting. I will link the Guardian article, and I will link Mark's video for this. Take care, BookTube.